What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. I'm your host, Dustin Singer Actor Lewis, and y'all already know sometimes I sing, sometimes I spill all of the reality TV tea, but it's always gonna be what you want, and it's always gonna be what you need. And y'all, we are coming right back with another episode of Married to Medicine. This is Married to Medicine, Saddle Up Cowgirls. So this episode was a cute episode. It was a good filler. We got a little backstory. I like it. I like what they gave us this episode. If I have to rate it, I'm gonna give it a 8. I'm gonna give it 8.59. I feel like that's been my rating for this week. So that's what I'm gonna give the ladies. Overall, it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. If you are new here, thank you, welcome, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, all of that. Hit the notification bell button, all of that good stuff. Send it to your family, send it to your friends, and guess what we're gonna do? Jump right on into it. So let's go ahead. So they do the little montage in the beginning with all the things that the people got going on. Jackie's shooting somebody up with something. Um, Heavily doing her thing. Everybody's doing they big one. And it panned over to Simone and Cecil's son's apartment that they was in. Why they got all that damn liquor? Don't get me wrong. I had liquor back in my day when I was in college, baby. Let me not even go ahead and tell you that. One thing about me, I went to school, baby, and I might not have ended. I ain't leaving no education. But I left with a good time, child. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a good time, baby. But that was a lot of liquor, and it was where the liquor was placed. Like, why? Just buy them a shelf or something, or put it in the cabinet. Y'all got a pantry or something. Put that liquor up. Y'all ain't got food all over the place. I already know that. But yeah, and that house looked nasty, and we gonna get back into it. Bravo, people, listen. I don't want sweet. I don't sweet tea and Greg. I know they over there hunching. I don't need to know about it. I don't need to hear them talking nasty, dirty, none of that. None of that, baby. They can keep all of that to themselves. Y'all can keep them scenes. If y'all got more of them, cut it. We don't need to see. It's making us sick to our stomach. It's disgusting, to be honest, and it's quite rude. It's quite rude because we don't need to hear about that. Got these people on here hunching. My contact drying up because they talking nasty. Body just shriveling up. Anywho, so then we swing over to Quad. Her man called her. She fixing breakfast, green eggs and ham, all in the kitchen. She doing her big one. And he said, "Hey, baby, hey, sweet thing, pull up outside. I got something." She said, "Daddy, you got the cold? You got the cold? Come on in." He said, "No, babe, I need you to come out here." And he pull up in that lease Rolls Royce. I know that's right, baby. Lease, borrow. As long as the man ain't steal it, child, that's good, quiet. You go out there and you get that Rolls Royce, girl. We love that for you. And you said the man, he does a little rental car business, so this could be, I don't know, allegedly one of his rental cars. No, but seriously, quiet. That's really dope that he got you that car. And then he said, pop the trunk. And there was a Louis box back there, girl. I know that's right, Miss Quad. Quad got her a good man. He is very, very handsome. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling about him? I think he's cool. I'm saying this like I know Quad personally. I don't know enough about him to know if I like him for my girl Quad. I love me some Quad. If he is treating her right and he is doing all the right things, then of course I'm gonna support it. But I've got my eye on him just to make sure, because we never know. It's too soon for the verdict to be out. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna hold on to it a little bit. Um, but speaking of which, do y'all think Quad is ready for a baby? I don't know. I will say this. They have been together at this point probably what, 2 years, 2.5 years, maybe 3, who knows. So if you've been together that long, cool. If you feel like you're ready to have that baby, do your big one. I will say this as well though, Quad. You're at a place financially to take care of a child solo. Just make sure that you're prepared for it mentally. I don't know you. I don't know. Just making sure that you're ready for that in the event that you have to take care of this child by yourself. So just keep that in mind, baby. But he got you a little Louis luggage. I thought that was a little random. Cool. I don't know. Like, I don't certain things I feel like gifts. You know what? Actually, I had got somebody gifted me luggage and I loved it, but it would have been nice if he was like, "Hey, I bought you this luggage. We're going on a trip." Like that would have been nice. But I think it would have been nice if he got her a bag, but whatever. But work. Got her a little travel size Louis luggage. Work. Cool. And that's on that. So then we transition and we see Toya, Dr. Eugene, and Avery. They were at Dr. Eugene's practice. He has a new practice that he's doing. Y'all, let me say this. It's such an amazing thing seeing them do their big ones. I love Toya and Eugene. They're a very interesting couple and they work. I know a lot of people give them shit for like how she approaches him, and I'm saying that as I'm about to give her a little piece, but I really do enjoy their relationship, and I feel like they make each other happy for the most part. Now Toya, you're awkward. Like I don't think I would have asked him about the wet dreams and be like, "Oh, you had your first wet dream." I feel like that is super weird. It was just weird and awkward. I don't know, and I don't know if it's just because I'm from the South and my mom would have never done that. Um, it was a little weird. Like I was a little taken aback. I do like the ability that you are allowing your children to have with you, and that vulnerability that you're allowing them to have with you, as far as being open. I think that's a great thing, so that they know they can come and talk to you. But I think that you're too loud and too strong with it that they're not going to want to come with you. I can see them going to Eugene actually and having that conversation because of how he approaches things. So I can see that. Now I will say. And then told you was talking about the hair. That was weird. Like it was a bit much. You could tell that he felt uncomfortable. So I wasn't feeling that. Now Toya is giving Eugene a hard time about doing more with his practice. You know, Eugene was saying that he wasn't happy doing the ER. He's transitioning to doing this. I think he still does ER, but he's just adding this to his wheelhouse. Amazing thing. He's loving what he's doing the weight loss, doing energy, doing testosterone, doing hormones, all of that good stuff. Shout out to Eugene for doing his big one. Toya, here's the issue, right? And you were saying him, oh, we can make more money. We could have been making more money if you'd have did this. Toya, y'all also could make more money if you would have taken on an additional job as well. Like, yes, you have this real house, married to medicine. You have that check, but you could get something else as well. Um, like you were saying that you could answer the phones for him, and he was like, realistically, you can't do that, and like I can't be two places at once. If he were to do that, he'll want to bring somebody else in. I get it. It looks like his office isn't that big. It looks like the space is kind of small, which is a good thing. The overhead is really low, so he's probably profiting a lot more than he would by adding in another employee, having to get an additional workspace for them. So I can understand where he's coming from. So I think Toya, y'all have put yourselves in situations, and I think that Eugene is being cautious, and you are just being like, hey, we need to hurry up and get this. Throw caution to the wind when it comes to this. Slow and easy, because I feel like y'all rush into a lot of things, and I'm so glad that y'all storyline this season is not y'all building or buying a house, because we are over it. But yeah, girl, just calm down. Golly. All right. So we transition from that, and we see Cecil and Dr. Simone, the Whitmores, going over to their son's apartment for cleaning day. And, Simone is saying, I'm just tired of this. I'm time for them to grow up. Make them. Simone, it's time for y'all to make them grow up. I understand. And I'll say this. There's a couple of things here. You have the ability to help your children. If you have that ability, by all means, help them. Help them for sure. Make their lives easier, because I often say, kids didn't ask to come here. You had them. They didn't ask to come here. You raised them up, train a child in the way that they should go, and they should never depart from it. Listen, y'all better come and get me biblical. But yeah, those are some of those things. When it comes to that, if you would have trained them in the right way, a lot of the things that they are doing, they wouldn't do. And they also know that they can do it because you allow it. So just think about that. They are doing those things, and they keep no nasty house because you allow it. Because I'll tell them, all right, if you don't keep it clean consistently, when it's time to renew this lease, y'all got to get out, and I'm going to rent it out to somebody else who's going to take care of this place. Because yeah, that house was disgusting. And I'm going to be real with you. They wasn't even there when y'all went to clean, and they knew they was supposed to be there, and y'all still cleaned up, and the house was still nasty after y'all cleaned up. No shade. Child, please. My mom and daddy wouldn't have did that for me. They'd be like, hey, you need to get up here and clean this. First of all, they wouldn't have cleaned it. They wouldn't have cleaned it. I'm going to be honest. If I would have known that they were coming, I would have made sure my first of all, I keep a clean, humble the bowl. That's one. With all my Amazon tings, honey. But one thing, if I know I'm having a guest come over here, spotless. And let me tell you something about me when I have guests. When I have guests, I'm not gonna tell y'all because just in case I have a guest, I don't want y'all to know my game. I can't let y'all know all my tea. Absolutely not. But just know I have a trick when I do have guests come over. And that's all you need to know. And that's on period. Pooh. All right, so they clean the house, child. Whatever. All right, so as they're cleaning, they're having a conversation about Quad and her new man, and I have to agree with Cecil on this. And Simone was like, "We get same old Quad. She don't want to be a part of the group." Well, Simone, if that's the energy that you're going to give her, why will she share that vulnerable moment with you? She shared a vulnerable moment with you or with the world, and you threw it back in her face later. So you have to think about all of those little nuggets that you have done to her. That's why she's not sharing with you, love, because of the way that you showed up. So if I was her, I wouldn't share with you either. Personally wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. Um, but they done cleaning that dirty ass house, and it still was dirty. But child, that's to each his own. She took the little Sonos speaker. Shout out to Sonos. I remember back in my day when I used to work at Best Buy, we used to have the Sonos speakers. They're really, really good. Sonos, if y'all want to send me some to put back here, I'll just line them up for y'all on here on the shelf. Um, so then we transition over to Dr. Contessa's house, and she's having a little get together. She has a Frenchie now. She did say that they introduced that. Super cute. I love Frenchies, y'all. They're so cute. If somebody wants to buy me a dog, feel free to do so. But we head over to Dr. Contessa's house, and Phaedra shows up first. Dr. Contessa looks good. She's so tiny. She always looked good. Like, hands down, has always looked good. But she's so tiny now. She's so tiny. Hope she's okay. I think so. I know she's really big into fitness, so I'm hope she's fine. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, but they're having a conversation before Sweet Tea gets there, and they start talking about T and heavily getting into it at Whitnick. And Dr. Contessa goes into her situation that she has had with Heavily through the years. Contessa, let it go. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just like, we're over it. Like, as a viewing party, that particular thing, we're over it because by you being off the show for so long and coming back and you're still riding that same wave, I'm gonna be real, I'm over it for sure. But hey, child, whatever. So when T gets there, they continue the heavenly conversation, and T is just saying, she's trying not to let it stress her. She is trying to have this baby. She doesn't want the drama to affect her, but she have her moment. She's human. I get it. Dr. Heavenly can go low. Once Heavenly sinks her teeth in, it's hard for her to let go. But one thing when it comes to Heavenly and Janice, I don't know if y'all remember Janice when she was on, and also Mariah, they knew how to back Heavenly up off of them. That was the one thing when it came to them. So I think that Sweet Tea, you got to stick and move, baby. You got to stick and move when it comes to Heavenly. You hit her one good time, and then she going to go and leave you alone. But I think the thing where Sweet Tea is going wrong at it, you hitting her with Damon versus just hitting her. If you hit her, you can spar back and forth for her. She's all game. But once you go for Daddy, she don't play that. So just Sweet Tea, keep that in mind. So as they're having this conversation, they feel like the ladies need to go on a girls trip. So they are planning a girls trip for everybody. And we are loving to see that. Love a good girls trip when it comes to these shows. And it seems like Phaedra's kind of putting this together too. Honestly, it seems like it's more of like Phaedra is in charge of the girls trip, but hey, whatever. And I almost missed this. They also discussed Quad having a man. And Sweetie, let me tell you something. And you said, well, thank God Quad finally got a man, and I hope he has money because that seems to be something that she really looks for. Here's the thing, Sweet Tea, right? Sweet Tea, you try to throw shade, but you're not that girl. You're not fab like that. You not fab like that to be, you just not fab like that. You ain't got it. You have the eye, but you are definitely missing the T. Here's the thing. You are the one that got on TV and they were asking you, oh, how does it feel to be engaged? How does it feel to be soon to be his wife? I get access to the money. You are the one that actually said that. Quad is just a fab. Quad got it. You can Miss Quad, she got it. She got it. It is what it is. T, you not there. So you cannot throw shade at something when we literally have footage of you saying, oh, I'll get access to the money. So it looks like you want a man with money as well. So girl, some shade, keep it to yourself because it didn't land the way you think it did. So after that scene, we see Dr. Heavenly, and I loved this. Dr. Heavenly's son, he's very handsome. I think he's grown. He's handsome. Dr. Heavenly's son just graduated school and he's becoming a dentist. So shout out to that, y'all. I'm telling you, that is such a powerful, like being black, right? African Americans, and you come from a household with two African American parents who are doctors, and then you have a child that's going to become a doctor as well and follow in the footsteps of their mother. Y'all, that's hope and the dream of the slave. I'm trying to tell you, that's a beautiful thing. So shout out to them. You can say what you want to say about Heavenly, but Heavenly did what needs to be done when it came to those kids. So her and Damon, shout out to them because it looks like they have produced some wonderful children. But it was really, really funny to see. He was like, "Yes, mommy." She was like, it's Dr. Combs." Like, it's just so funny, like seeing her in that space because as much as Heavenly talks her shit and as much as she cuts up and gives the girls hell, Heavenly is about her business, and Heavenly don't play when it comes to her kids and her man. So it was really, really nice to see Heavenly be in that space and just teach her son the ways. I really, really enjoyed that. So that was really good. And we also see DrJackie helping one of her patients, one of her legitimate qua patients. I almost said a word that I should not have said, so I didn't. Help one of her legitimate qua patients. And you know what? Shout out to her. She had some things that she needed to take care of. I think endometriosis with some fibroids. Taking care of that. And she wants to have a baby. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. And she played ball. So that's what I'm talking about. That's all that's there. We're going to move right along. So the ladies at their houses, they are getting a package. And packages look real, real cute. I love some of the package deliveries that the girls are giving between all the shows. But you know, my girl Kathy over there, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she the one who had it going on with the gifting and the invites. Gotta give Kathy her big one on that. So the ladies receive an invite from Sweet Tea, Phaedra, and Contessa for the hoedown. So they got some Spurs. Heavenly and Allura were that was a cute puppy too. Somebody buy me a puppy. Heavenly and Allura are so funny. They're really, really cute. I love every time I see Allura come on the screen, being able to see her grow up, and she's in college now. Like, y'all, that's so awesome. But yeah, so as they're getting these gifts, Cecil and Simone are having a conversation, and I think Toya and basically everyone is kind of at the same consensus, right? When it comes to this group, when it comes to this girls trip, I think a lot of us are hoping that there are going to be a lot of apologies. We're hoping that the apologies are going to show up and they're going to last. Say what you want about Heavenly. Heavenly does apologize. Heavenly will apologize, but Heavenly will apologize. Like she said on her little review, I'm apologizing, I'm going to take it back. Or I'm going to say that I'm going to take it back. That's what Heavenly be doing, but Heavenly will apologize. And typically, if it's something that she's serious about, she will apologize and she'll move forward. She might throw a few jokes here and there, but she typically will apologize and she'll stand on that. That's one thing I would give her. Now, Simone, you were talking about it and you said that Quad is wanting to apologize for Napa and not what she said at the reunion. Honestly, Simone, you should apologize for all things. Just saying. There are quite a few apologies that need to go around in this group, and that is absolutely one of them that needs to take place. So after we get that montage, we swing over to Phaedra's house and fine ass Apollo pulls up to pick up the boys because Phaedra is going on the girl trip for about a week. Apollo is very, very handsome. He's a handsome man. Um, that shit was funny as hell when they were like, the producer was like, "Hey Phaedra, does Apollo get to come to your house?" And she was like, "Hell no, he crazy as hell. He ain't coming to my house and bringing that energy up in here." I'm with you, Phaedra. You keep that energy out there, baby. You not gonna none of that bad juju is coming up in here to my humble abode with all of my Amazon things. No, ma'am, we are not doing that. But she said, "Hey, Apollo, Toya told me that she saw you." And Toya, I will say this: I don't think Toya is messy. Toya is trying to make Phaedra work. And Toya is like all of us. nosy because I'm with y'all. Apollo, what was going on? Because what the people allegedly what they had said, this is all alleged. I don't know. Allegedly, the people said that you was over there at some woman's house and your wife had caught word of it, and it was a whole kerfluffle. And the people said that y'all was separating, child. That's what they said. So I'm with Toya. I just want to know what the tea is because allegedly that's what the people said. Now I ain't said that's what they said allegedly, child. I'm with Toya. What happened? We just want to know what's going on. So bring on your wife and y'all sit down at the confession and tell us what was going on. Were you at that lady house, Apollo? Was that somebody else? Is it all lies? Allegedly? Tell us what's going on. That's what we here for because y'all ain't giving us nothing to work with. Tell us what the tea is. So after they do that, we see Sweet Tea talking to her sister, and her sister is pregnant. I know that is probably such a bittersweet moment for Sweet Tea. And like she said, I can see my sister doing this. I see you doing it, but I kind of want to have a baby myself. And especially because they're twins, I'm sure they want to share in that experience together. So I hate that. And while she's having that combo, Greg shows up and they start having a conversation. And question, one thing first, when he was like, oh, you ain't using no coasters. If the coasters y'all use them, they wouldn't be in the pantry. They would be out on the table. So y'all don't really use those coasters, but that's neither here nor there. But they're having the conversation, and Sweet Tea saying she has pain from her procedures or whatever the condition is. And they start talking about having kids. Again, I feel like this is their thing, right? Because we know that Greg really wants to be a father. We know that. Sweet Tea wants to be a mother from what we are hearing here. And some people I've had conversations with about Sweet Tea and Greg, I want to get y'all's take. Do you think Greg was being insensitive or do you think that he was being realistic? I'm going to say this. I think that Greg was being direct. I think that Greg was being realistic. I don't think that his intent was to be insensitive and to hurt her feelings. And he says that. I don't think that that was his intent. I think whether the issue is here when it comes to Greg and Sweet Tea with this particular topic is you should have had the conversation ahead of time. And I can understand Sweet Tea being hurt, but Greg is older. He's an older gentleman. So I can understand him being like, hey, look, my cutoff is 2 years. Because he's not a spring chicken. No, and that's not to be shady, that's to be realistic. Greg is not as young as he used to be. So he's like, hey, if I'm honestly planning to do this to be active in my child's life, that's probably what his thinking is. I probably need to have this child within the next 2 years so that in 10 or 12 years, I'm still pretty mobile. I can still be a part and be active. So Sweet Tea, I kind of get where he's coming from. And then I love how he was like, hey, well, depending on how bad we want a child, maybe we might have to adopt. So I'm glad that he's open to that. But I hated to see her cry and go through that situation. I really did. But that is one of those things. Having those honest conversations when it comes to dating and in relationships, any type of relationship, not even dating, is pivotal to being successful. So yeah. So then we see the ladies getting ready for glamping trip, and then Simone and Heavenly FaceTime, and they talk about Phaedra coming to visit Heavenly, and she was like, "Hey, well, I know you and Contessa had issues." And Heavenly was like, "Wait, I thought we were good. I thought we were good. Like that's years old. I thought we had moved past it." And then Simone was like, "Well, she probably wants you to talk about Sweet Tea," and she's like, "Girl, why is she involved? She doesn't know anything about that." Now, I will have to agree with that. Contessa, you weren't here with that drama. I understand you can relate to it, but and honestly, that's what it is. She can just relate because she's had personal experiences with Heavenly going through it. Shit, so it is what it is. I can understand that from that standpoint. Um, but I would say all the ladies look good going to the airport. And then they go to the airport, they fly that little Toya shade for DrJackie talking about, so, oh, we could have been mother-daughter. That was funny and cute. I loved it. I also really love to see Quad and Toya get their like sisterly bond again. I love them together. They were really, really great TV. So I'm glad to see them. I would like to see more scenes with just them two, bridging that gap between the two of them. I would love to see it. Um, and then the episode kind of ends with them arriving to Orlando for glamping, and they start to pray in the car. The girls are separated in cars. Jackie, Heavenly, Toya, and Quad are praying. And as they're praying, we see clips from the next episode where it's Heavenly and somebody. Quad and somebody. Let's be real. If it wasn't between them two, I don't know if we'll really have a season because those two ladies are bringing it when it comes to the heat and the drama for somebody else. One thing I want to give my girl Toya. Toya is coming through with the comedic relief and she's coming through holding people accountable as well. So I love that. Y'all, Married to Medicine, this episode, it was pretty good. I'm super excited for the next episode to see what they're going to give us. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. That was our review. Once again, if I had to rate the episode I'll say 8.9. I'll give it an 8.9 this episode. But if you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share with a family member, share with a friend, aunties, uncles, cousins, grandparents. Child, share it to the people. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We still have time. But with that being said, thank y'all so much for joining me today. See you tomorrow.